U.S. and what can accountability and sanctions do for us as a human race. Now, this topic seems to come up a lot in my life, and honestly, in a lot of all of our lives, just as we age. You have our ways of accountability every day since you was young, with keeping up with your favorite toy or something that was near and dear to you. You're accountable for the placement of that. This ain't gonna be a video like really just trying to. It might be actually, because these things, like I said, keep coming up. So I don't know what type of bad intention I would have to try to implant or put something into your mind or into the universe, into the world. You may not believe in something else, but you could believe in the world we live in. We have meteorites and comets zooming past us every day, and they're becoming more visible because of the technology we have to make them visible. Even without the technology, we're seeing them more in the past recent month. But they come around, period. They always happen. You just may hear about it where you're at. But I do think this is going to be one of those type of videos, because it's not, I don't like that preference. I'm never trying to give you the wrong information, speak the wrong information. I'm always trying to feel and share what's needed, so that your grandmother taught you. If you didn't have one, God forbid, an elder you've known in your life at a young age taught you. I preference elder because we was raised by someone. I ain't gonna disrespect and say something, some creature. I mean, we was raised by someone, all of us. Whether it was inconsistent from a particular person or a group of people or some entity, an establishment that took their time to help raise you, that took their time to make sure you're not going into the same way that might have been the parents' direction or the community you was in or the family members that you had at the time that you had nothing to do with. It's like so much information going around right now. We don't even know what's real, what's fake. We don't know what's true, what's incorrect. We don't know. Well, you know what it really is? Because we shouldn't say that anymore. We don't know what's 100% true. We don't know what's 100% fake. And honestly, when you grow up in a certain timeline where you would see CGI, you could tell with some things. But again, that's not the conversation for right now. What's the problems in America that we're having? And what can accountability and sanctions do for us as a human race? We ain't gonna get into that, because that's actually not the case right now. Accountability takes precedence over all. It just does. We all like it when we have it done for us. We all love it when it's in representation of us, when it's conducive to us. We don't like that feeling of making somebody be accountable for something that we had to make them do. You know what that is? That's because you can't control someone else. People do a lot of things that go against the normal mindset of risk assessment. If things are not risky to somebody, why would they care to go ahead and do something towards you? And mind you, when you hear sanctions, that just covers all of it. Any type of verbal or punishment, however it may be, it's a sanction. It's some type of action being taken for the things that you went against, whether morally or by the laws of the land. These things can do a lot for us. And there's a lot of things on TV right now that shows the best information, shows the righteousness. We gotta actually dig for it most times. Unless you got a support system that's gonna cherish it when they see it. But that's, that comes here and there, and it's all about being consistent, because it took my character to change to want to be interested in watching it, because it was just something I grew up all around. I grew up around a lot of supportive people. I would say positive people. Yeah, I come from North New Jersey in the early 90s, the 90s and the early 2000s, but that it doesn't matter, because there's a lot of places that's going on and doing the same thing right now. And when we was doing what we was doing at that age, it was following other people doing what the generation before thought it was the right thing to do. And then that generation before them was going through a civil rights change. There was a lot of, as I say, it's always about history. I know people don't like to really hear that, but it is about history, how things are to now, because what's accepted and what was designed to be when it comes to certain places and people being around each other, compiled on each other, which makes sense. A person that's well off, I don't care how you got it, whether it was righteous or not, you're well off with the monetization wise. You don't want to be next door to a trailer park. No, I never grew up in a trailer park. I'm just saying I want to get that comparison compared to some hood. You don't want to live right there next to that because the standards and the way the quality of life is just going to be completely different, And mind you, that person that's in the hills and in a nicer or bigger house ain't gonna be much of a cleaner person, nothing to say like that, or a dirtier person. They're just gonna be people that's prioritizing different things and letting the money set more precedents on to how to treat and how to understand and how to equate people. We get that, but we all have to be accountable. Now, I bring up that because when you come to people that's in these positions that's doing well for themselves, monetization wise, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just, how do you think they got there? There's many forms of systems. There's many ways to get there. Many ways to chase the dreams you have. Many ways to get into some high-paying position that you may not actually care about or put too much actual personal stake into what you're doing. Your body's there, your mind's there, so you are personally there. But there's people out there that do stuff for what? For capitalist game, and that trickles down. That's been going on for centuries. Centuries is 100 years. That's been going on for centuries. If you're still here with me, I appreciate you, but it's all over the place right now because it's just so true. Everything is just true. You can get in the comments and we can further narrow it down, but I really just wanted to talk. I probably don't even really play the game. It's my way of recording to reach certain people that I want to reach, areas I want to reach, and I take this video somewhere else. But I appreciate you all for being here, watching this, listening, and understanding that this is the truth. Understand that you know the truth. We've all been instilled the truth. It's just not something that we look for because we're around whoever we're around. Because we have issues and problems that we have ourselves. Whether it was passed down, whether it was built onto ourselves. There's so many ways and all this to understand this. Us in America, we have so much information. The world has so much information. We have so many tools around us. Things that I could even honestly say that I should have been prioritizing sooner. And I'm not talking about just Twitch. So many. When we didn't listen to those things, sanctions happen. Mind you, it's not sanctions that's bad. Okay, let's say repercussions. Let's say every action has a reaction. Things happen when you don't jump on the opportunity. You're not afforded it. You don't see the work somebody else puts in. You don't know how they got to where they got, but you knew you could have put that same work in for what you wanted. Man, the young people, man, I want you to be blessed and blessed up and righteous and just prevail at every chance you get. This topic is so broad, and I was very vague in this, but I do have a Raise It Better with JJ channel where I definitely discuss it in shorter detail, almost 4 to 8 minutes in the videos that I have on right now. But besides that, I'm every platform with this. Sanctions. We need some type of accountability. Remember, you like it when it's done for you in a positive way. But just think about when it makes you not want to change and better yourself for that moment. All right, let me say better, because that would get loosely turned and at least for some reason misplayed, misconstrued. We all love it when it's all good for us. But then when it's somebody else that's trying to make sure you're being accountable, what do you do? What do you do in that moment? This video for the young people because I know the adults we already know this, but still, there's adults out there. But for young people, what are you doing in that moment? Yeah, that's part of life. When you can look back at the early days, that's all about bravery, courage, accountability. I don't care if it's pencils from off somebody else's desk, whatever. These all this is where it starts for most of our experiences. A lot of good for people in the world's experiences. If you had no schooling, it's in a park. You get homeschool, it's in the neighborhood. Somewhere you're gonna interact with someone else. When we're interacting with someone else or someone else's property or someone else's things, or how are you gonna do? What is important to you? Because you're gonna make it. It's gonna count to somebody. That's where them sanctions come in. It's gonna count to somebody or something. By then, that's a waste. And then for sure, listen to me, understand. By then, for sure, you will get to that age where you'll be like, "Oh damn, that's not the way to do it." You're always gonna get to an age where you're like, That's not something I would do. Oh man, young people, I want the. Because you can think about it right now. I remember telling my son, one of my sons, that when he was going to reach a certain grade, like really sixth grade, he was going to see like weed or drugs or stuff like that inside his school system. I remember telling him that because we saw it where I was at, and it wasn't because he's in some crazy neighborhood. Don't get me wrong like that. It's just a thing that happens around that age. You think you know what you're doing. You think that's what you should be doing. You want to gravitate to that because maybe the influences you're seeing around are gravitating to that, respectively, understandably, and that's where the parents have a hard time raising. Because it's influence raising your children, our children. But you gotta be consistent and never give up. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on the people around you. If you know this better so much, you gotta never give up. That never give up means don't never give up on yourself. Don't off yourself. Don't never give up on yourself. Don't give up on those that you're doing it for. Because you knew what it was. You knew what it was. I knew what it was. Don't give up. You gotta think about them times you didn't give up. Just remember, you made it this far. Your body can be physically bigger. Your mind can be a little more expound. It could be whatever, expounded on negativity or positivity. It don't matter. You do not want to give up. You gotta be grateful for something that you have. And the something that you have is the limbs in your body, if you have all four of them, the heart beating in your chest, the stomach digesting whatever you may eat, your armor, which is skin. This is our armor. We never have a hard exterior like an animal or something like scaly, reptile, but this is our armor. You look up. Our skin protects us, hold water in. It's our armor. This is the human version of armor. We just don't have the strongest. You gotta be thankful for that ability to be able to be outside in the light, to be able to have your body be able to regulate temperature. It's so many things to be grateful for every single day. But then there's times where we get winded down, bogged down, whatever words you want to use, the words that came to my mind, you get down from something that you might have mistaken, you might have misplayed, you might have done wrong for yourself. It's just, or it could have been done on you, and you gotta fix and dig yourself out, or you gotta fix and dig yourself out of something you done yourself. So much, and I like to really think about this all the time, to keep me from making any irrational or ignorant decision that's going to end that or cut it short. And the only way to do that is to educate yourself. I didn't want to say that too many times. 14 minutes in, I'm saying it for the first time. Educate yourself. Look more into what it is you don't know before it comes out and hurt you. It could be really anything. It could look into anything. Look into anything. You need to look into it. You need to look into it. It's all beneficiaries. That's it. Just look into whatever it is. You ask somebody about it. Keep asking people about it. And then hopefully you got people around you that's going to notice you asked about that. And maybe they're going to change and be a little bit more intentional with you. Man, it gets so deep, man. It gets so deep. There's so many things on TV. We 15 minutes. I'm gonna end it right here. There's so many things that's being shown on TV. It's just being shown on TV that the world is seeing. That people that have no experience and no understanding of it seeing, and myself included. I see things that I don't. I watch. What is it? I just shrug my shoulders like it ain't nothing. But those offshore operators and watching what they're doing. I've been in them type of environments, so I just watch that type of stuff sometimes. Watch some of the footage that they got out on the Ukraine soldiers marching through their land and Russian enforcement coming to them. Like that's on YouTube. I remember at a time where it was like crazy to see somebody getting murked on camera, like a real one. Now it's so crazy, it's just happening more and more. That does something. That does something to a future generation. It's gonna make them want to be a part of that. It's gonna make them want to stay away from that. It's gonna make them want to just turn the eye to it because they don't want to understand it because they're not going through it. Then everything opposite, vice versa of each one I just said. Because of the things I personally named them three, somebody's oppositely going through each one of those or experiencing all of them. I think about that every day. And what's the reason why I think about that every day? What made me get to that point of thinking about that every day? I think leaving where I was from helped do that. I also think that having the discipline to just keep working on my body and realize that I just really loved myself, and I saw the reception of other people when my body was around, and I felt valuable. Places, these type of things. As I'm speaking right after high school. That's like we become when you're legally a man, when you're legally an adult, shall I say? So the world's gonna automatically treat you different when you got the ball rolling in your life in that direction. Vice versa too. Be 18 and still be treated by the world different. You can be treated as an adult before 18 by legal standards. It's just, what do you prioritize? What is in your priorities? Where do they lie? Accountability and sanctions. There's people out here doing things because the risk is low. The reward is higher, I guess, to them. What's that standard level? What is that? But I will say though, with all that being said, and people around you that may be going through this, if it was you, or just speaking for somebody else, maybe you're here, you in this alignment, there's other people going through this around you. Keep going. Keep going. Don't let it be to a point where they're pushing you away and distancing themselves from you, because we do that. I've been that person that was being fed knowledge of power, knowledge of self, and just wanted to keep ignoring that person, evading them when I was a younger person. Knew who they were, respected whatever they may bring, but then going home and disrespecting people's family, disrespecting other people close to me in ways that it shouldn't be. Just keep telling these stories to whoever you want to, whoever's going to believe it. The world is going to have a place for you. We all love each other, but as soon as you get out there, you get out with somebody else, and you are the weaker link out of the links of chain, you are going to get removed. And they're going to put the chain back together without you. And the chain will be nice and strong together as everybody is doing their part. Whatever it may be. But the weaker link of all chains get exposed. They either become great or they get X'd out. You're really only as good as your weakest link. This is so true. It just shows the level of how much y'all building on to this person. How much y'all trying to get him there. That's what you say it should be there. If he can't see it for himself, she can't see it for himself. Be consistent, man. Be consistent. Be consistent. Also give out sanctions, man. Have some type of consequence, because we used to think that like a place like where I'm from, they gave out cashless bells and no more bell systems. I have a family member that was just keep rinsing and repeating in that cycle. Unfortunately, that's new underneath those laws and terms. They've been around close to a decade now. I'm not in that state anymore, but I know about this. And what there's a lot of people out there that thought it was gonna be a good idea because people get locked up for small things and can't get out. But now they getting locked up and they get right back out and they're not having any consequences. So think about it in a legal level. It already been that understanding in our life. Let the little young person do something because they not gonna get that much this and that. It been already like that. This is making it harder for you to get anything else done. If you don't want to be in the corporate world, be in them other worlds. I don't want to call them prestige, but you don't want to be in those other worlds that take that other type of grind and focus and dedication and discipline to get into that fine. But don't knock it because you don't want to leave what you chose to put so much work and investment into a life that really is real. There's only two sides of this life that we live in. It's the capitalist side, and then it's the capitalist side. One is in the streets and not abiding by the laws, outlaws. Then there's the ones that's making the laws, the ones that's setting the standard, the tone. That's why I say, man, we can't put this all on the next generation. I'll be damned. I let my boys know I don't put the melanated struggle on the next generation. Nah. I don't put that on the next generation. I put education on them so you can know whatever it is you don't want to tolerate. And the more people that's going to think like that because you know, oh, this happened before, oh, this event, oh, this bombing, oh, this fire, oh, this happened back in just within 100 years ago. So many slaughters and bombings of our people within 100 years ago when we was emancipated. If you just know about that and care more about that and realize that could have been somebody you looked up to, that could be somewhere down your bloodline, because we're all really all one. We're all one race. We're all one underneath God. But that's not enough. We're not at that point again no more. And nobody doesn't want to see that point because they consider the judge God. Some people. They make it. He's giving out orders like it. And then it's not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand. Use the people around you that you may not talk to, know, that's doing great, and go. Mimic it. Grab what you feel like you like from that and add it to you. They're set around you for a reason. It's your time. The system, school, has been around for so long. The structure system been around for so long. If you don't like it, you can change it. We already have a system of voting. They only implemented women to vote because they needed a certain number towards a certain election. They wanted more people at the time for a certain person. They capitalizing on every moment that they see. And we're just looking at it like it's a good little handout. Because they treat it like that. And that honestly goes with every single level. There isn't a level where it's not treated like that. I don't think so. I don't think so. How could it be? I'm about to get off though. I really hope you listen to all this, because this was constantly on my mind for years. And like I said, as you get older, you just realize that certain things shouldn't be done. You shouldn't be looting, shouldn't be robbing nobody's store, shouldn't be running in masked up with a bunch of other young kids doing that. You shouldn't be using DRUG. I know I said it earlier, but you shouldn't be experimenting with these type of. That's what I was waiting for. This controller was already low, so I felt like I wanted to just give a little talk before it cut off. But that's it. That's it, man. I hope you all stay blessed out there. Push the best for yourself. Love yourself. Push the best for your family. Those around you. And stay consistent with your goals. Don't ever give up, man. Don't ever give up. 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 Don't you ever give up. Don't you ever give up. You know what I mean? Don't you ever give up. Give up. Don't you ever in your life give up.